What up, you guys? Ron Raphael with the Legacy of Learning on the Black Gen X channel. I kind of merge them sometimes, but I have two channels. One, the Legacy of Learning. One, Ron Raphael, the Black Gen X man. But today I did a stream on both of them, and it's about this topic here. Raphael with the Legacy of Learning on the Black Gen X channel. I kind of merge them sometimes, but I have two channels. One, the Legacy of Learning. One. Sometimes I'm too efficient. I also have the stream playing live on another window, and it's played through, so ignore that. All right? But anyway, music is life, man. You know what it is for me. I always start a show with music, man. And this one is specific to the topic at hand, which is hypergamy or greed. Which one is it, man? Which one is it? Hypergamy or greed? Let's talk, you guys. This conversation came to the forefront a couple months ago when I was talking to a young lady, younger woman, let me put it like that I was dating just for a minute or two. And it happened in a brief kind of brush by scenario, but I made sure to stop and address it. Why? Because, man, as you're going through relationships, especially with women in your current generation that are younger than mine, generation-wise, you're going to find that, and women do this all the time, they're going to sneak things in or try you as you go through, especially the beginnings of your relationship. So when I heard this, I addressed it immediately, and I said, you know, and it wasn't out of any specific need other than to just stop something before it started snowballing. And just a response to, if a friend of mine had said that, a buddy of mine said that, I may have said the same thing to him. So this is where it was coming from. It wasn't coming from me trying to check the young woman, but it was in response to a statement, and that, you know, any one person, or that she could have it all, or why women couldn't have it all, is what she said. And I said, you know what? It's kind of an idiotic statement, to be truthful. No one can have it all. There are trade-offs. There are decisions that are being made. There are things that happen in life that you can't control. A billionaire could come down with testosterone or testicular cancer. Is that having it all? So no, there's no one that can have it all. Women, men either. But the other side of it is, I never hear men saying anything along the lines. Nothing so absurd as that I can have it all. Even men that have it all don't have it all. There are top tier men throughout our society that have been going through the exact same thing that regular men go through on a daily basis with relationships. You know, Tyrese got, you know, his child taken from him and divorced from some so-called beautiful woman that he found and made his wife, and she left him with the child. Now, this is a top 0.0% man, and he went through what regular men go through all the time. So even top tier 1% men can't have it all. But there are women, regular women, every day, just average women, that are going through life with this kind of mantra that they can have it all, which is completely ridiculous, because no one can. But applied to the topic of today, for hypergamy and greed, it applies specifically to this scenario. And let's talk about the definition of hypergamy for just a moment. Because what I found in trying to find the definition is that they've been trying to morph it, change it to suit. And we know that language is a living thing, and it will adjust according to times and to the people. The words back 200 years from now aren't going to apply directly to what we are doing today as a society. So I understand that. But hypergamy in the past 20, 30 years, that's not a long time, have been morphed into including dating and everything else, and leaving out the dynamic of a woman looking for a man for resources to start a family. The definitions were everything but. So let me get back to what's going on. Let's get back to the true definition of hypergamy. All right? Hypergamy Undidacted. Let's look at hypergamy didacted. It's a law term. We're going to be specific today about a definition and how it's used. Then we need to be as technical as the law-abiding folks that, get a degree in law. So let's look at the word is didacted. If you were to look at this definition, there's another word that I didn't take out that I should have. But let's read it in this context. A practice that prompts a woman to marry above her socioeconomic status. But in the definitions that I found, marry was removed and everything else was in the place of marry. A relationship, a hookup, a date, whatever the case might be, everything but marry. So they try to take that word out. In the second part they took out, I didacted here, which is in order to raise a family. So let me get to the crux of what I'm talking about here. Why I say it is either hypergamy or greed. Because feminism has made it so that you cannot have both. I know I'm speaking blasphemy to some of you women that live in delusion, and men too that may have bought into this. But let me tell you something. If you are a marriage-minded woman, meaning that you were raised in a family that was grounded in some sort of spirituality, that a mother and father were together in that house, that there were gender roles, and the woman, you being that, in this case, was raised in that house to follow a woman that was a wife, and you were taught how to take care of a family from bottom to the top, including the man. And then when you became of age, you didn't go out and have hot girl summers and run around and devalue yourself by having sex with every man you thought was hot because you're trying to be a man. And then at that point, you included your family in the process of finding a mate, and then found a mate. In that process, you would be practicing hypergamy exactly how it was intended, and no flag would be thrown. Completely legal to do so. Now, that man you approach has to be able, because what you did was preserve yourself to be a wife. That man now has to step up to the plate. Whoever is a suitor needs to be able to assume the economic burden, not just to provide, but also to protect. And we often have changed the word for the role of a man. It is not just to protect and provide. Conveniently, the other two P's have been left off. There aren't two, there are 4 P's. Protect, provide, problem solve, which men have been doing since the beginning of time. This is why all the stuff you see around you works, is because the way men's minds work, we problem solve very well. We're extremely logical and we work our butts off. That's how we are designed. Then there's the last one, to procreate, procreation. And it just does not mean having sexual intercourse with a woman to pregnate her or impregnate her. It is to provide love to your entire family, not just sexual love to your mate. It is to provide her with hugs and kisses, affirmations, and to do the same thing for your children, be it male or female, the 4 P's. But we've reduced the 4 P's to 2 P's that are convenient for the women of today, because they think they can solve their own problems until they have a flat on the side of the highway and they need a man at that point. And if they're convinced that they don't need us for anything else, certainly not for providing and for protection, because society does that as a whole for them. And lastly, the only thing that they really have to come to us for, even when they forego their primary years of childbearing and for family, they need sex. So if you're not a woman that's designed and raised to be a wife and to take care of a family, as I described, hypergamy is not for you. You're practicing greed otherwise. Here's the other lane that you go down. If you don't go down that lane, you go down the lane of, I've been sexually active since junior high school for damn sure. I've racked up a bunch of bodies. I'm now in college. I don't need a man for protection. I don't need him for problem solving. I don't need him for providing, because why? My family's taking care of me, and they've pushed me into college to become a self-sufficient individual that I don't need a man. Okay, so now you don't need a man, but you're dating him and you're having sex with him. By the way, that is called fornication. That is called hoeing. Okay, all right? So now you get to your 30s and now you're ready for a man, but by then your money has risen and the men you want because of your false use of hypergamy are above you, which means that 90 some odd to 8 to 99% of men may not or will not fit your criteria. The other side of your problem is those men that you want do not practice hypergamy. They love women of all ages, and it doesn't matter if their socioeconomic status. So we love women of all socioeconomic status when we get money. So we're not limited. So do we want a woman that has attributed and accumulated masculine traits all the way up until her 30s? Now she wants me to make as much money as her, or I don't get the respect that I'm supposed to have as a man. Number two, she may not have my child. And three, she's going to be completely uncooperative and masculine. So now I'm supposed to follow the laws of biology when she completely forgot about them and went about her business till her 30s. So there is a social contract. So no, ladies, you cannot have it all. Oh, but there is a third option. I'm helping you out here. Let's talk about it. It's literally doing all the things you're supposed to do before you go to college, keeping your legs closed, not being the one that needs to explore all of her sexual titillations through college. You can hold on to your chastity, enter college, seek a higher education, which is great. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And at the same time, just like other races do, look for a husband, not with your legs open though, with your legs closed. You should be courting, not dating. And there is a difference between the two. So do not conflate them. Dating is having sex outside of marriage. Courting is not having sex and looking for a man to marry so you can have sex with him the rest of your life and start a family. Two different things. But by the way, you have to qualify. So if you're not the one that's the marrying, marriage, raised to be a wife type, then you're on the other side. You cannot practice hypergamy. It is not available to you. What you are doing instead is hoarding all of your stuff and looking at his shit. That's called greed. That's called, I'm going to make money. And by the way, women make more money than men in their 20s. Women are hired more throughout their entire life, black women too, and they make more money, especially in their 20s, than men. So now you have all the money, you're making money, you're career-minded, you're bringing in dough, your money is rising, yet every man you meet is supposed to pay for everything. That's foul. I throw the flag on that. You cannot practice hypergamy if you decide you want to be a career woman boss chick. You can't pick and choose the benefits of feminism or of being a traditional woman. You can't do it. We won't let you do it anymore. And men aren't stupid. And we're tired of playing this damn game with you. So straightforward. Either you're a wife and you've been practicing all the virtues along that line. And I don't mean just going to church every Sunday and then acting like you're saved. I'm talking about doing what the book is telling you to do. Adhering to it at all times. Then you practice hypergamy. A man comes along and he should be willing and happy to bust his butt for that type of woman. But not the woman that decides she wants to do everything with Tom, Dick, and Harry, get to her 30s, 35-year-old. Then now I need a man. Okay, you need a man, but what do you need hypergamy for? You don't need it. At that point, it's called greed. It's not hypergamy. Okay, guys? So let's get it straight, man. Let's keep it straight and get it straight. And do not let guys, and especially women, gaslight you with this conversation. If you have two kids, and I was describing a very amiable scenario. Most of these women have ample bodies buried. And they have kids that they bring along with them. And they still want a hypergamous scenario where the man must come in to do what? Take care of your children, your bastard kids with his money that he earned. That's greed. To have yours and you say that, hey, I don't need his money. Okay, that's what you say. But as soon as you get with the man with money, you're going to want all of his money. You're going to want his money to take care of the home, the children, and everything you desire. You want to practice hypergamy, but you're putting it backwards. You don't qualify anymore. You're a hoe with 2 kids looking for another man's money so you can use his money and use him up. Poor fella. So women, make your bed. But when you do, lie in it. Don't come back later and look for the men to save your butt or look to practice hypergamy. It's not on the table for you. All right, y'all? So get that straight. Now, I just wanted to share that today because it's been coming through, I'm hearing this word hypergamy. You're watching dating shows of all kinds, and invariably, as I do my research, I have to listen to everything. I cannot shut my ears off to the crazy things that are going on the dating side of our community, because that directly affects what's going on in our community and the future of it, especially if they're assigning our culture and who's running it to women, especially single black women. No, you can't have it all. Choose. Choose either to be a hoe and run through men, or keep your legs closed and practice hypergamy and have it given freely and happily in those circumstances. We're not going for both. All right, y'all. It's Ron Raphael. Once again, music is life. So let's get up out of here, man. We've been chilling and listening to a version of Kanye West and his song, Bro. So make up your mind, man. And I hope, as smart as you guys say you are, that you get this message, that you don't turn it into some bullshit response where the logic is sound here and straightforward. Let someone younger than you who hasn't made the mistakes yet listen to this. Man, woman, young woman. They're going to need it. Add this to your bag of knowledge and pass it on. So much so that it becomes part of your legacy. That you tell the women around you, the women in your family, whether you're a man or a woman yourself, that you cannot have it all. But you can combine the two. You can go to college and find a man and keep yourself chaste. Don't become the campus hoe. And you can leave college with a good man, but respect him, love him, and keep him. Don't throw him out after 3-4 years after you get his resources. Because back again, you'll become one of those. All right, y'all. I'm Ron Raphael, man. Peace.